Hello and welcome to the 8th episode of the Ramblings of Random Minds podcast. I'm your host, Alex Stern, and this is my guest, Tim.
Hello.
I mean, technically it's the 7th episode, but it's also the 8th because we had an episode 0, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's been a while, and I'm sorry about that. School has been quite tough, but...
Yeah, it's been, how long, 2 months since the last podcast?
It's been like 2.5.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already November.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost December now.
Yeah, November has went by so fast.
Yeah, I was just talking about that the other day. I can't believe it. It was a flash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like already as of recording, I think the 20th of November.
Yeah.
And I was saying at the start of November, maybe this won't be as long as October, or as short as October. And now I'm like, well, where's November?
Yeah, almost Christmas, but your birthday's at the end of the month on the 28th.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Excited for that.
Yeah, what's on your wish list for your birthday?
I'm hoping to get a phone. I feel like everybody at school has one, and I feel like it'd help a lot just with school and stuff.
Yeah.
What else? I do want the new Pokemon game, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I haven't decided which one yet. But, yeah. And then you just showed me Dark Souls, which looked cool, but...
Yeah, it's a fun game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll double check with your parents, but if they're okay with it, then yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely a possibility. If you're good, if you're not lump of coal, but... But no, that's exciting. You'll be 13. Teenager. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Terrible teens.
Wow.
Oh, well. Oh, that's exciting.
I'm hoping for my birthday party to have a Dungeons & Dragons D&D session with some of my friends.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, yourself and James have really been doing a lot of Dungeons & Dragons.
Yeah, I even started a campaign of my own.
Oh, nice.
So, it took me about 5 hours straight. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so that's why it took me so long. But
it's not bad to be a perfectionist to like what you do, so
yep.
Yeah, that'll help out in the long term, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, so you've been busy with school and stuff like that, and anything else on the move, or?
Not really. No medical things.
Oh, that's good.
Which is really nice.
That's good to hear.
Since my surgery, hopefully I don't need another surgery ever again.
Yeah, I can see. I've had one surgery, that's it.
What was it?
I had my, appendix removed. Yeah.
I don't quite know what that means, but...
Appendix is something that it's inside of you that doesn't really have it doesn't really have that much of a purpose. It's just there. But if it gets infected, it can cause a lot of issues. And mine got infected somehow, so they just removed it.
Huh.
Yeah. I was in Australia at the time, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, good thing I had insurance and stuff when
Yeah.
I was there. But, yeah, it was quite interesting. My surgeon was actually from Calgary.
Huh.
So that was weird.
So you're literally halfway across the world.
Yeah.
And you're both from Calgary?
Yeah, it was really weird.
Huh.
Yeah, I was in med school and he was the surgeon in the gastro unit. So, yeah, I could tell right away he was Canadian just from how he talked.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my only surgery. I wouldn't want anything. Luckily, I haven't broken any bones or anything like that.
Oh, I think I've broken 5.
Oh, wow.
Femurs, twice. Both of them, so that's 4.
Wow.
One of them during surgery because they need to do it, and another one because I fell basically out of my chair, just fell forward, tipped over, and it broke.
Yikes.
And then I broke my elbow when I was younger as well.
Holy cow. You shouldn't be afraid then. You've already done it all.
Yeah. Done everything except brain surgery, apparently.
Yeah.
Not having that.
No, I wouldn't want that either. That's scary. But I guess you don't feel anything.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Because you're out,
Oh.
but still, it's not something I'd want.
Yeah.
Yeah, But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Did not really. We came in with a few things, but not that much for this podcast.
Oh well, there's one big thing we wanted to talk about.
Yes.
It's interesting. I was just giving you time to see if you wanted to ask any questions.
Oh yeah. What's up with you lately?
Forced questions.
I don't know. I'm out of practice. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Alex is just working on his interviewing skills as well. So, but
not like it's actually interviewing; it's just conversation.
Yeah.
I know Daddy thinks it's always an interview, but not.
I guess maybe to some people, conversations are interviews in some ways. But yeah, well, thank you for asking how I've been doing. Been really busy lately. So I'm doing graduate studies in the medical school. So I've been super busy with all that stuff, trying to create my own trial. I'm also working in a hospital in a clinical trials unit where we do a bunch of research with people and diabetes and try to help them through lifestyle and pharmaceuticals on managing their diabetes. So been really busy doing that as well. And then my girlfriend and I, we got engaged about a month and a half ago now.
Yeah.
So, no, I think it was 2 months ago now. Yeah, probably around the same time the last podcast was.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got engaged, so that was really exciting. She was really happy. She's Spanish. She's from Mexico. So she got the ring, and then the rest of the night she was calling everybody in her phone, like screaming in Spanish on FaceTime, showing them the ring. It was pretty funny. She was very excited. So I think I did a good job with that. So I'm pretty happy. And so yeah, I've been doing that, and then taking care of my dogs, which is always fun. And then we are going on a trip in December for Christmas over to Mexico. So
nice.
I'm gonna drive. So it's going to be myself, my fiance, and then our dogs in the back seat. We're going to drive from Calgary to Mexico, stay there for 2 weeks, and then drive back.
That seems quite hard, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's going to be a trip, but our biggest issue is having the dogs. We don't really want to have someone watch them for that long because, I don't know, we both like having our dogs with us, and it's a huge expense to have that. Like usually if someone's watching your dogs, they charge like a couple $100 a day.
Yeah.
So
most of it's family, but
and even for my family to do that, it's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
we just thought instead of flying, we'll drive. Then we have them there and they're good. And one of our dogs is also very allergic to a lot of things, so we got to be careful of who watches the dog, because if she gets into things, she can get allergic reactions and break out in like rashes and stuff. So but yeah, that's what's going on with me. So there's always lots of things, lots of exciting things.
Yeah.
And just hanging out with Alex, so that's always good.
Yep.
And getting my butt kicked at video games.
I just played Dark Souls like not that long ago for just a little bit, and I was doing I would not say better than you, but
he was doing really good. Yeah, it's been named the hardest game created by a lot of people, and yeah, he did really good. So I was pretty surprised to see that. I played that game for about 5 years, and I remember the first time I played, I couldn't believe how difficult it was. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, video games, you're super good at them. So I know every time we try to play Smash Brothers, I can't even. He has to play with half of his people with 50 health because they just beat me all the time. He still wins, so there's no winning there.
I'm just good at dodging and then like getting cheeky attacks off. I feel like.
Yeah.
And just try not to get hit and get little damage bit by bit.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's going on with me. But another thing we wanted to talk about was the guy who created Facebook. So Facebook's a part of a bunch of different companies now. So there's Facebook, there's WhatsApp, there's Instagram. I'm not sure what else. A couple other things.
Messenger, I think.
Yeah, Messenger, and I'm not sure if Twitter's a part of that. No, I don't think it is. I don't know, but a bunch of these social media platforms that everyone uses every day, they're all gonna merge together in this thing called Meta. And we just like I told Alex about it like last week, and then we watched the video on it. It's pretty crazy. The guy who made Facebook created this thing called the Oculus Rift, which is like sort of like a virtual reality headset you'd put on, and then you can play games with these controllers, and it feels like you're in a different area or whatever. But he wants to use that technology with Facebook and all these other platforms to almost make like a Ready Player One environment where when you plug into this matrix, you're in an alternative like reality, like a new universe. Like you have your house that you live in currently, but then you have your alternate reality house.
Yeah.
And you can also like work from there, and you can do like he's showing that they're gonna try to make this technology in eyeglasses where you put them on, and then there's like a holographic screen like in Star Wars, and people can buzz in holographically, and you can do Zoom in your holograms and in your virtual reality. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
When I read the book Ready Player One, I feel like it's exactly how I imagined it. Like, exactly. Yeah. Like, everything, like, even, like, the hangout spaces and, like, all that. It's, like, exactly what I imagined. And I hope that the actual world does not turn into that post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Not good at talking.
Post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. I never read Ready Player One, and I never really watched the show. I just know the premise of it. Can you explain what it's about?
It's basically so you're in a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
Why am I having so much trouble with that?
I can't even say it. It's really hard. Apocalyptic.
So you're in a post-apocalyptic world, and basically everybody has an oasis, but like there's like these things like just basically houses that like basically there's no world, but there's the oasis, the virtual reality.
So the world's destroyed, but everyone's okay because they just plug into their virtual reality.
Okay. And people don't nourish themselves and stuff, like it's crazy, but so everybody's in this virtual reality, and basically there's like all these things, and then the person that made the oasis, the thing, died and made a challenge that whoever finds his 3 Easter eggs, because he's like he really likes video games and like old arcade style video games. Whoever finds the three Easter eggs gets all his wealth, all his money, which is basically just about all the money in the world.
Okay.
But then there's this big company that's trying to find it and like hiring people and like kind of slave labor. Yeah. It's like not paying them, and it's like they basically it's crazy. It's really quite cool. I won't spoil that much, but
no, it's good to know because
it's a great book.
Yeah. So people live in this reality, and it's so bad, and everyone's broke, but they're happy because they have all they need in this virtual world.
Yeah, I mean, they're not necessarily broke because all the money they get is in the world. And it's basically played like a open world MMO video game, so if you die, you lose all your money. Like, yeah. Wow. But then you can still respawn. So, and it's like, basically imagine an open world MMO, but that's your life. Wow. You're basically that person. If you die, you get to respawn. Great, you're not dead. You lose everything you have. So.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary when I understand the idea that they're doing, and they probably did rip off a lot of the idea from that
I think it's meant to be ripped off. Like,
yeah.
A thing I was thinking about, like, literally a day or two before you brought this up to me is, like, what is the biggest next technology? It's like iPads were big, iPhones were big not that long ago, computers.
And that's just normal. Like, there's new phones every year and new computers, but nothing really is like, oh, that's exciting. It's just like, oh, okay, a little bit of a bigger screen, a little bit faster.
So, there's like, nothing, what's new?
Yeah.
Virtual world. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I really thought the glasses with the holograms was kind of
Yeah.
cool. But the thing about like having like another house and another reality, that freaks me out. Like, why
Yeah.
can't we just have holograms? Like, and be able to
Yeah.
hologram in and stuff. But to have like a virtual house and money, and I don't think he talked about money, but I know he talked about a virtual oasis where you can go and escape. I don't know. I think it's a little dangerous.
Yeah, because like if it's too good, people will stop caring about the real world and just
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, it's just weird, especially at the time when there's all this cryptocurrency as well.
Yeah.
I'm not like I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm not into that, but there's all this stuff that's kind of just in the online world now, and it's like social media and Facebook and all that.
Yeah.
So before you get a phone, you got to be careful. You got to understand all
Yes.
this stuff, because even now with social media, I see a lot of people my age that just get consumed by it, and all they care about is what they look like on Facebook and the life that they're trying to show in this virtual world, but then in their real world they're unhappy and they don't deal with their problems because
Yeah.
they just always escape in this alternate reality.
But can you imagine if like literally all your body was food? Like that's it. Get food, sleep, excrete waste,
Yeah,
and then you go into the oasis, is what it's called in Ready Player One.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah, it's definitely like everything that I stand against. Because as you know, I did my university degree, my first one in kinesiology, and that's all about how important it is just to do like little things of movement throughout the day,
yeah.
and how it can delay a lot of chronic
Yeah.
disease and illness.
I know in the movie, it's like when they walk, they're like actually walking on like a treadmill, but
Yeah,
still, it's like, it's a bit, it's hard
Yeah.
to,
yeah,
but like, where's technology going? And I feel like COVID doesn't help with that a lot, because like, literally the only way people contacted people for a year, and even now it's still kind of like that, is via online, right?
yeah.
So,
But to be honest with you, this is the perfect time to roll something like this out,
Oh, yeah.
because we're all used to this right now. We're not in the regular world that we're used to. We're into this
Yeah.
world where it's okay, everybody just works from home, and
yeah,
we don't go out and gather a whole lot. It's kind of strange, and find a lot of comfort at being at home and not socializing in person, and it's normal now to socialize through computers
Yeah.
and all that. So this is the perfect time to bring out this like cryptocurrency, and then also this
humanity's
Yeah.
downfall.
I don't know if that's gonna happen. It's just scary. I think people just have to understand how important it is to live in the here and in the now and
Yeah.
reality, and not in the internet, because
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of the same thing, but it's like I play video games with my friends. I did that for like, because I did not go out for like a year. So that was like the only contact with my friends for a year. And it was very hard, and I just feel like I'm not, I don't know, it's not fun anymore for one. And in person, I just feel like when you play video games, all you talk about is the video game. And I feel like now I don't know them as well as I did before COVID.
Yeah, and that's exactly
They'll
true.
probably see this, but
Oh, it's okay. It's true. It's important. I think everybody feels like that, but everybody also. It's sort of this COVID fatigue that we have, where everyone they are kind of sick of doing things like this, and
Oh, yeah.
it's hard to adjust.
I'm just about ready to do what everybody's doing and go out into the world and ignore COVID. That's a bit of sarcasm, but
Yeah.
still.
But it happens, and people want to just get back to it, but at the same time, when you're trying, it's really hard, because everybody doesn't like taking. If you think about it, if you take 2 years off of socializing in person, and then you just try to go socialize in person again, that's going to be difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Like 2 years is a long time. It's like
Like even 2 months of not doing a podcast,
yeah.
I'm feeling it.
But yeah, it's crazy. Like imagine, like I know this is a whole other extreme.
Yeah.
But imagine being stranded on an island for 2 years, and then going
Yeah.
back into like New York City. You'd
Yeah.
be like, what the heck is going on? Like this is too much for me. I want to go back to my island. I'm comfortable there. But that's what people I think are feeling like now is.
Oh yeah, I don't want to leave home. I just want to stay here. It's safe here.
Exactly.
No nothing.
Yeah.
No risks.
Yeah.
Another thing that I was like, that I find just so funny and like weird. Do you know in like Frozen how I listen to almost Christmas music time, but not yet. I listen to Disney music quite a bit, and like, oh, what's the name of the song? It's at the start of Frozen 1 when Elsa is locked away for like basically her whole childhood, and Anna's just alone.
Okay.
But so, one thing that doesn't make sense to me, Anna is alone for like 6 to 16, 10 years.
Yeah.
Elsa is stuck in her room for 10 years.
That's crazy.
Without parents, knowing they're dead, 2 years is enough to drive just about all of humanity mad. What practices are they using to not go mad in 10 years?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, I think that's why we're seeing a lot of these different sort of ideas coming to surface more, is because it's the perfect time. Like we're in this weird vulnerable place where being at home is nice. It sounds really nice to just be able to sit at home and go meet your friends virtually. There's no risk, nothing like that. If you go outside, there's a ton of risk. And yeah, of course, even if you are vaccinated, there is like the slightest chance that you can get it. But I don't know. I just think that I have hopes that by next fall things will be back, and I think
hopefully
we won't have to worry as much. And it's honestly it's getting really good now. Like I'm a huge supporter of the vaccine passports and them implementing that. If you don't have it, then you can't really do a lot of things. And I know it sucks for the people who aren't vaccinated and who have like issues with vaccination. I think it's more. I don't think it's as much as a belief anymore for those people as much as they may claim it is. I think it's more of just sort of them being scared and unsure of what to do, because it's hard.
Either that, an obsession, like medical thing that you can't get it, or like everybody says I should get it, so I'm not gonna get it because people aren't like just.
Yeah.
I don't want to be with everybody else type thing.
It could be resiliency, but I honestly think deep down, I think it's more psychological than that.
Yeah.
I think it has a huge factor of uncertainty to some people, and some people, like I know for you and me, if we look at stuff and we trust researchers, we trust our healthcare system, we trust scientists, we trust this. We trust people that we love that are promoting us to get vaccinated. We trust that, but some people have a really difficult time, and they may not have the support system around them. They may not have the family around them or the support they need, or the people they need to tell them that this is all right. If their whole support system is telling them that this is wrong, and then they go, and then the government's always changing what they're saying and changing the rules, that's going to be really hard to be like, okay, well, I want to do this because I'm already on the fence, and now the government's making me more on the fence. So.
And I mean, also, like, people have been locked away possibly on their own for more than a year.
Yeah, so.
I don't want to go out, and I've been around some people. I can't imagine what people that haven't been around people think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's different, but. Yeah, that's kind of where we're living currently. So it'll be interesting to see what the world looks like in the next 5 years after all this. And I hope in 5 years there'll be no more speak of COVID and we can just forget about it.
I mean, it won't be forgotten.
No, it won't be forgotten. But I think after this is done and after we don't have to worry about this, I don't think people will really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it's been too long.
Yeah. In Ready Player One too, there's lots of it kind of touches on the mental health part of it quite a bit too. And I think just in COVID, Ready Player 2, the sequel to Ready Player 1 just came out.
Oh, really?
So it really touches on that type of stuff, and it's funny, every what if our minds could be uploaded to a computer? That's in Ready Player 2 as well.
Wow.
So it's crazy, but
yeah. Well, I know before this
might be predicting the future. Probably not. Hopefully not.
I think so. I think now we're at the point where people can actually develop this stuff. Like the Matrix is the another thing that's kind of like Ready Player One, where and like this. I don't know. Have you seen the Matrix or no?
Yeah, I have.
It's like this, like you said, post-apocalyptic world where machines take over, and then the machines use the humans for fuel. So they plug their brains into this alternative computer system where they think they're actually living, when in reality they're just being farmed in these rows and these little bubbles.
Yeah.
But it's all kind of the same thing. It's like, okay, your physical being and body is somewhere, but your mind and all of that is shot to this other area.
Yeah.
So it's definitely crazy. And another thing I noticed before this Meta came out was the Elon Musk, the guy who invented Tesla. I remember there was some talk about him trying to get this like computer chip that you can implant in your brain, and then you have the power of a smartphone, like a Google. So if you didn't know something, you could just use this chip. It's called Neuralink or something like that, where you can have the power of the access of the whole internet just in your brain.
Talk about taken away from being human.
I know. I'd rather just have access to a phone.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. If I want to shut it off, I can shut it off.
The thing is, though, if you think back 50 years, like people that are probably talking how we were, probably a bit shorter than 50 years, but people talked how we're talking right now about phones and stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, just imagine if you time traveled back in time and you had like a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
What if you went back 100 years, had a Nintendo Switch and an iPhone? What would people do?
I think there's a Gravity Falls episode. I don't know why this comes to mind because I did not watch any of it, but the main characters go back in time to early 1800s.
Yeah.
And one of them has braces, and that's just a big thing, that, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts, and people probably think you're like a witch or a wizard or something.
Yeah.
So it'd be pretty interesting to see. So yeah, it's interesting how every 100 years how different the world kind of becomes. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's a really good. Do you think this is a good place to end it?
I have a few more things, I think.
Okay.
So you might notice that we're on a new set. I have also right here.
Oh, the picture.
The picture. One of my friends drew this, Cole.
Cool.
And it's of our D&D campaign. We're in a tavern, and I don't know if you can see it, but it is amazing. There's so much detail put into it.
Do you want me to take it off to
maybe.
the camera? I'll do it really carefully.
Yeah, Cole made 3 of these. Not the same, but... And then I think he also did one on Sea of Thieves. But, look at the detail. There's a chandelier. There's, meat. Our characters are down there. Cole's a dragonborn. I'm Charles, so I'm the one that looks kind of disgusted by the food because that's what my character is. James has 2 pigs, and then there's, just if you look at the shelves, they're jam-packed with, a bunch of things, and, it's just amazing. I can't say more than that.
Yeah, that's super nice.
Yeah. And the reason... Anyway, not a smooth transition, but the reason why we're doing a podcast is because I have lots of time because Mommy and Daddy are away this weekend, and Tim is here with me for this weekend, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not.
Well,
It's not the sole reason why
No.
we wanted to do this
Yes.
podcast for a while.
I was trying to do weekly forever, but school, so.
Life happens and it's hard sometimes, and and you need to have time to not have things that are like in your brain, like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. Sometimes you just need time to just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna do what I feel like right now, and I'm not gonna think about anything, I'm not gonna stress about it, I'm just gonna unwind and do stuff that just is relaxing and doesn't make me feel guilty about something. So when you have the chance to do a podcast and you want to do it, then do it. But if it's gonna feel like, oh, I gotta do one, or I feel just, you know what, don't worry about it.
Yep. I was hoping to do another one this weekend, but I don't think I'll be able to.
Yeah, you can maybe talk to James.
I have a lot of homework this weekend, though. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
School has been tough. I'm hoping I can get a few more out, but this one will be there, so at least, yay. I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah. Hopefully in the summer I can get back to weekly, but that's a long time away.
Yeah. It's almost Christmas, man.
Yeah. How did that come so fast?
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's really good. I think we're at the past the 30-minute mark now.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Thank you very much for watching, and my voice changed again because I'm these things just happen. If you listen closely to any other podcast, I'm sure they do it too, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think everybody kind of tries to do that, and they have like their intro and exit voices, but yeah. Thank you everybody just for tuning in, and if you're here still, then you're a champion and you have a good endurance in your mental capacity to listen through 30 minutes of a podcast. That's pretty good. I know sometimes that's even challenging for me to do, but yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm excited to talk again whenever we have another podcast, Alex.
Yeah. Bunch of things happening, I think. I don't know. It's exciting and freaky and a bunch of other things,
but everything's gonna be all good.
Yep. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe, and yeah.
Nice.
See you in the next podcast.
See you.
Bye.